1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so a lot of what I do on this channel is make videos fighting for the working class. And a part of that is talking about cost of living. You have seniors living in poverty, more and more seniors living on the street. You have younger workers dipping into their 401ks to pay for medical debt, not to get evicted from their homes, and many other reasons. So retirement in this country is in big, big trouble. Let's take a look at this. Let's start here. Poverty among U.S. seniors aged higher in 2024 per newly released U.S. Census Bureau data. The share of Americans aged 65 and above living in poverty rose to 9.9% from 9.7% in 2023. And so you have about 13 million seniors living in poverty in this country. It is absolutely disgusting. This government does not care about seniors at all. It does not care about workers at all. And they're actively making the problem worse. We're going to get into some of the things that they're doing to make the problem worse because, of course, that's what politicians in our country do, right? They don't actually solve and address the underlying issues. So if you believe in economic justice and fighting for the working class, consider subscribing and liking the video. It would really go a long way in helping out the channel. More, the U.S. does not care for the elderly. That is completely obvious, but it doesn't care about anyone preparing for their retirement. We're going to get into some facts and data about young people trying to prepare for their retirement and getting screwed over as well. Almost half of middle-income families will be poor in retirement. About 79% of 62 to 70-year-old people cannot afford their pre-retirement living standards. How could anyone believe this government cares about Americans trying to retire when they're constantly trying to cut Social Security? How can anyone believe this government cares about retiring people? Let's bring it in. When they're constantly trying to raise the retirement age to 67, to 70 and beyond. They want us working until we're dead. How could anyone possibly believe this government cares about people that are retiring, about seniors, when they're constantly trying to cut Medicaid? More, Republicans are cutting Medicare by $500 billion. That's how much they care about seniors. They're doubling and tripling the health premiums and want to hike the retirement age. If it was up to them, they'd make us work until we're 90 years old. They don't care. They want to get rid of all protections, all government programs that help seniors in the middle class, Social Security, Medicare, everything. If it was up to them, they'd get rid of the government and put a corporation in its place and make us serve their billionaire donors. If it was up to them, they'd get rid of all protections, even for kids. They put kids back in coal mines and make them work, 80 hours a week. Let's look at what this Republican senator had to say at a town hall about the retirement age and how disgusting it is.
Well, we got to be honest with every American and say you're not retired when you're 62 anymore. 62 is the new 42. You got to extend this. You got to go on and say you can't get the benefits of 62 or, quite frankly, 65. It's got to be 67 or 70. It'll eventually get even higher.
It'll eventually get even higher. You'll be working until you're 80 or 90. You'll never get to retire. Does he not know that the life expectancy in the United States is 78? So he wants to push it past the life expectancy. So you'll already be dead. You'll never be able to retire. That's what these Republicans want. It's utterly pathetic. They want to take away all the protections that you have and make you work until you die. That's what they want. Look at this. $1 million will no longer last enough for retirement of 20 years over half of the states, right? $1 million. You need more than $1 million to retire comfortably, right? That's where we're at. That's how expensive this country has become. And they want to take away more of your protections when a country is this expensive, when we're retiring in a country this expensive. It's disgusting. Look at how amazing the French are. When they want something, when they fight for workers' rights, they burn the place down to get it. Remember this? Oh my God, when France considered changing the age of retirement from 62 to 64, and they got 1 million workers organized, 1 million workers, and the retirement in the United States is 67. They get to retire at 62. At 62, when we're working until we're 67, and now the Republicans want to push it until we're 80 or 90, past the life expectancy in the country when we're already dead. So we don't even get benefits because we're already dead. It's so insane. What he said makes no sense if you understand the life expectancy in the country. Who wants to work until they're 80? This is pathetic. But look at how Europe fights for their rights. 1 million workers organized, and they got the government to stand down. They got the government to stand down. from changing the retirement age to 64. They care about each other. Workers unite in France. Workers fight for their rights in France. Here, what do I hear? Nothing. Where's the fight? Where's the workers? Where's the organizing? Where's anything? Where's the petitions? Where's the calling of senators and congressmen? Where's the voting these people out? Nothing, nothing. Americans have no fight. They don't care. They let corporations run all over them. It's absolutely pathetic. We need to not let them change the retirement age. We need to get them to address the rising cost of inflation and cost of living in this country. We need better protections. We need to expand Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare. We have the money, tax the rich. If you like my videos, if you believe in my message, like and subscribe, help out the channel. I'd really appreciate it. See you in the next one.